See that?
I don't see that either.
I'm gonna send her another link. The
Is it,
auction items say, why do all the auction items say sold?
oh, I'm scared. I don't see that. I see like 30 minutes on the countdown.
Yeah, I'm in as a bidder as well. I see 30 minutes and 44 seconds.
And it looks like some items have bid, some haven't.
I see the same thing. Oh, she got it. She figured it out.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
Okay, good.
Fundraiser. I am Enid Wallace Sims, the chairperson of the Board of Directors of Communities and Schools in Delaware. This evening, we will honor some of the finest advocates for students in the state of Delaware. First, I would like to thank all of you for attending this event and for your support. I want to give a special thank you to our presenting sponsor, PayPal, and other sponsors, Bank of America, CSC, Experian, and AAA. I also want to thank my colleagues on the board, the Events Committee, headed by board members Faith Messenger Pettit and Nicole Burrell. We are excited to have as our host our new executive director, Dr. Carlton Lampkin, who has an extensive 41-year career in education. He retired in 2016 as the Deputy Superintendent of Colonial School District. He has been affiliated in many roles with Communities in Schools of Delaware, including 2 years as the Director of Operations and as our Executive Director for 10 months. And now I give you our host, Dr. Carlton Lampkin.
You're live.
Mrs. Conway and CIS have been great to me. Mrs. Conway, also known as Mom Conway, checks on me a lot, gets me things she knows I need but can't get, and helps me talk to my teachers when I have a problem. Mom Conway always sees the good in me, even when other people can't. I think CIS should be in every school, and more Mom Conways should be there. A lot of kids need someone like this. Sincerely, Tashayla Stones. Postscript, Mom Conway asked me to do a video, but I don't like that. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Carlton Lampkins, and I serve as the Executive Director, the proud Executive Director of Communities in Schools of Delaware. I am honored to serve as your host for this auspicious occasion, our second annual Champions for Children virtual fundraising event. What I opened with this evening was a testimonial from one of our high school students at Woodbridge High School. That sample is indicative of what the main focus of Communities in Schools of Delaware is: one-on-one relationships between adults and young people. I hope each of you is well and safe. On behalf of the Communities in Schools of Delaware Board of Directors and staff, it is a pleasure to welcome our honorees, students, parents, guardians, teachers, administrators, other school staff members, friends, family, other supporters, and board members to this wonderful, wonderful experience on behalf of some of Delaware's most vulnerable young people. This evening, we will be honoring 3 exceptional advocates for children: Dr. Marshall Ali of Christiana Care, Mrs. Janissa Nunville, the principal of Castle Hills Elementary School in the Colonial School District, and Mr. Murray Bernstein, impetus behind the creation of the Colonial Graduation Advisory Board. And we have some very, very special entertainment. This evening would not have been possible without our sponsors. First and foremost, the Board of Directors, who have put this all together under the guidance of Board Secretary Faith Meisinger Pettit and Board Member Nicole Burrell. Our presenting sponsor this evening is PayPal. Our platinum sponsors are Bank of America and Christiana Care. Our gold sponsors are CSC, Bloom Energy, Chase, and Jabez Foundation. And our silver sponsors are Team Tice, AAA, Experian, and Team Lampkins. A few of our presentations will be by video. We thank our board member, Dr. Jeffrey Menzer, the superintendent of Colonial School District, and Mr. Gary Phillips, who's the supervisor of the William Penn High School media team, and his technicians, Maddie Barber, Hannah Jones, and Alex Shoemate. Before we begin this evening's activity, let me answer the question: what is CIS? CIS is a national 501c3 evidence-based dropout prevention program. Our mission is to surround high-risk students from pre-K to grade 12 with a community of support, empowering them to achieve in life and stay in school. Our model offers 3 tiers of assistance and provides attendance, behavior, academic, and social emotional support. We work to provide whole school programming where there are activities in which any student may participate. We also have small group and individual activities for those who need more targeted assistance. We literally provide integrated student services using staff within the school, as well as bringing in community resources to meet a myriad of student needs, including physical and behavioral health needs, basic survival needs, housing needs, etc. As the African proverb goes, a single bracelet does not jingle. Hence, it takes a village. Our illustrious site staff secures and organizes all of the services our students need. We are a very data-driven organization so that we can clearly demonstrate our impact on graduation rates, student achievement, academic improvement, etc. The crux of our work lies in the mantra or the guiding principle of one of the founders of Communities in Schools, Bill Milliken, who is still active with the organization as the vice chairman of the National Board of Communities in Schools. From the onset of this brilliant idea, he contends that it's relationships, not programs, that change children. We want you to be an important part of this evening's activity. So your question should be, well, how do I do that? We encourage you to make a donation and to participate in our silent auction, where we have some 28 wonderful items, useful, relevant, and for many of us, items that we need for you to bid on. If you click on the donation button and the auction button, you will be able to make an investment by giving a tax-deductible donation to help us meet the needs of the wonderful children that we serve. At this particular time, I'm going to present to you our first honoree, Dr. MD Marshala Lee. Enjoy.
Good evening. My name is Andre Harris, and I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our next award recipient, Dr. Marshala Lee. Dr. Marshala Lee is a board-certified family medicine physician and the director of the Harrington Community Partnership Fund at Christiana Care Institute for Research on Equity and Community Health, formerly known as the Value Institute. She also serves as the lead physician at Shortridge Academy's school-based health center sponsored by Christiana Care. In her free time, Dr. Lee serves as a member of the Wilmington Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated's Physical and Mental Health Committee, health contributor for the Metropolitan Wilmington Urban League, a member of the Communities in Schools Board of Directors, and the vice president for the first state chapter of the National Medical Association. Dr. Lee completed her undergraduate training at Tougaloo College in HBCU in Mississippi and obtained her medical degree with a concentration in advocacy and activism from Brown Medical School. She also obtained a Master of Public Health with concentration in healthcare management and policy from Harvard University. Our next award recipient, Dr. Marshala Lee.
Good evening. It is indeed an honor to have been selected as a 2021 Communities in Schools Champion for Children. I personally understand the impact that Communities in Schools has had in the lives of thousands of youth across the United States. Approximately 20 years ago, CIS provided me with the mentoring and support that I needed to stay on track during a very tumultuous time in my life. Communities in Schools placed me as my first job as a medical records clerk at the local hospital. This can be credited with starting me on the career path of becoming a physician. I will forever be indebted for the support that Communities in Schools provided to me, and it is indeed an honor to be able to return these blessings as serving as a mentor to local youth and a CIS board member. I would like to accept this award on behalf of my physician colleagues and health professionals who have rolled up their sleeves to vaccinate our communities. Many communities have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19, and it's going to take all of us working together to overcome the pandemic. In closing, I would like to thank CIS for this phenomenal award, and I would like to encourage each of you to please get vaccinated.
Back to you.
Wasn't that a wonderful presentation by Dr. Lee? And she exudes that kind of professionalism and advocacy all the time. We appreciate all that she has contributed to the success of our organization. At this particular time, we're going to have a little bit of entertainment by two of our site coordinators, one of whom I knew could sing, but the other one, what a shock. And for those of you who have joined in and who know them, I guarantee you, you will be shocked as they present I Am Light by India Ari. After which we will have the presentation by our second honoree, Mrs. Janissa Nunville. And now, I Am Light, sung by Andrea Spence and Shakia Carter.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to present one of our first honorees. She is well known for her courageous faith and dedication to the lives of many students in communities and schools. Her career in the educational field first started in 2001, where she first joined the William Penn team as a Spanish teacher. Her passionate work and desire to develop resources over the years for students has landed various leadership roles throughout Colonial School District. She also opened up many doorways for many of our site coordinator positions across the state of Delaware by piloting one of our first elementary programs at Castle Hills Elementary School in 2017. With all that has occurred over the past two trying years, she continues to be a phenomenal principal, an advocate, a mentor, a role model, a wife, a mother of three, and a positive leader of her community. Please give a round of applause for our first Champions for Children recipient, Janissa Numville.
Good evening, everyone. Although I am currently the principal at Castle Hills Elementary School and very proud that we've had the opportunity to have CIS in our building for almost 3.5 years, I was initially introduced to CIS when I was a high school Spanish teacher at William Penn High School, where I began my career in 2001. As a coach of basketball and track, I witnessed firsthand the positive impact that CIS had on many of my high school athletes. And I saw how important it was for there to be a village of staff to support our students in order to set them up for success. I came to Castle Hills in the summer of 2015 and realized that the scholars at Castle Hills really just needed to be exposed to new opportunities and be provided a support system that focused on their whole well-being. When I was approached by Dr. Minzer and Dr. Lampkins with the opportunity to host CIS at the elementary school level, I was excited for the opportunity, but also a little nervous, since we were basically being asked to determine what the role would look like with younger students. Sharonda King joined our team in February 2018, and she was a true blessing. The admin team and Ms. King have worked closely together since day one, focusing on doing what's best for scholars. For the first 5 months, we focused on Ms. King getting to know both the staff and students, and she gradually began to implement lunch bunches. She greeted families who were truant in an effort to curb tardiness, and she even rode 2 buses home each week in the afternoons. Together, we determined that her role would be flexible if we were truly going to provide scholars and families the support they needed. Although Ms. King is no longer with us, she has set the bar high because of the success that CIS has had on the school community at Castle Hills. Intentional decisions around CIS's role have had a positive impact on decreasing the number of tardies for our K-2 scholars, the student achievement for all students, and most importantly, the positive relationships that have been fostered between the school and families. One of my favorite quotes was by the late Rita Pearson, who stated, "Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection, and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be." From my perspective, having CIS involved at Castle Hills has provided a true opportunity for the school and family connection to be strengthened. If anything, my staff will vouch for this. There are times when I will expect certain things to happen because it is simply what is best for kids. I am very clear that even if the ask is uncomfortable for the adults involved, if it is what's best for kids, it should be done. Access and opportunity through our Saturday Growth Academy, after-school enrichment for scholars in grades 4 and 5, family portrait night for families, a focus on providing outside learning spaces, and forming a relationship with Rivercross, a local church, who supports the school in many ways, are just a few examples of how this has been done. Each and every day, educators have the privilege of serving our communities and doing what is best for kids. I want Castle Hills to be a role model for all other elementary schools in the state. As I say each and every day on our morning announcements, Castle Hills is the best elementary school in the entire state of Delaware. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I am proud to serve as the principal at Castle Hills Elementary School.
Go.
I'm back. I don't know about you, but I have just been blown away by the talent of our two site coordinators, Andrea and Shakia. The hair was standing up on my arms, listening to not only the words to the song, but the quality of the voices that delivered that beautiful rendition. And we thank them for that. And then that was followed by one of the finest elementary leaders in this state, Janissa Nunville. And we appreciate all that she has contributed to the success of CIS at the elementary school level. At this time, I just want to remind you, you have about 5 minutes to go to that auction because it will close in approximately 5 minutes. We are looking so forward to you taking advantage of some of the most wonderful auction items that you will ever find. Next, we have our third honoree, Murray Burstein, who will be presenting on behalf of the entire 14-member Colonial Graduation Advisory Board. After which, we will have a special presentation by one of the chairwomen of the Communities and Schools Board of Directors, Ms. Natalie Kiefer.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Menzer. I'm Superintendent of the Colonial School District. Welcome to Champions for Children, virtual fundraising event for communities and schools. We're excited to have you here this evening, and I'm actually honored to introduce our next speaker. As principal of William Penn many years ago, I was often confounded with an issue: how to help students graduate from high school. Fortunately, I met a business person through the Chamber of Commerce Principal for a Day program, Murray Burstein, who had the same question. So, over the years, he and I would talk about this as a challenge. Eventually, from that evolved a group of business leaders in the community who wanted to make a difference at William Penn High School. From that came a group called the Graduation Advisory Board, from which Murray built and constructed many advisors to help me along the way as a principal. Now, as superintendent, he continues to provide that guidance. And why am I telling you this at a CIS event? Because CIS played an integral role in that process. Back when I was principal of William Penn, there were 2 Communities and Schools project site coordinators who were working with our children. When Murray and the business leaders stumbled upon them, they decided that's what we need more of in Colonial. Now I'm honored to tell you that CIS has become a fabric of Colonial School District and keeping kids on track to graduation from pre-K through high school. With that said, I'm honored to call Murray to the stage here to share with you his thoughts around the Graduation Advisory Board in Colonial and Communities and Schools. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Hello, as mentioned, my name is Murray Burstein. I'm a business person and founder, now retired, of Nixon Medical Wear, and a member of the State Chamber of Commerce. I am also a member of the Colonial School District Graduation Advisory Board, which consists of 10 business people and Dr. Jeffrey Menzer, the superintendent of the Colonial School District. The Colonial School District Graduation Advisory Board stemmed from the State Chamber of Commerce's Principal of the Day program. One of its members, Mark Stellini, encouraged the chamber members to interact with educators. The advisory board was created about 15 years ago several business people interacted with the then principal of William Penn High School, Dr. Jeffrey Menzer, forming an advisory group to help him improve the graduation rate at William Penn. After several years of meetings, it was apparent to the board that influences outside of the school building had significant impact on the number of students not graduating from high school. The board unanimously felt that this was the area that needed significant attention. William Penn High School already had in place the perfect solution. Community and schools had 2 advisors at William Penn. The advisory board realized that what was good but was not quite to the scale that William Penn's needs. There needed to be 5 or 6 advisors and a manager. The board raised private funds to support the hiring of several additional advisors, but felt the funding should not be considered a charitable endeavor, but should be a government educational expense. When Dr. Menzer shared the data of the relationship of attendance and dropouts, they realized that the additional CIS advisors needed to be available from grades K through 12. Today, CIS has 15 advisors working at Colonial. The percent of students graduating was 72% in 2005. Today, it's 86%. Significant success, but we're not quite finished. Our goal was closer to 100%. And with continued success, we hopefully will get closer to it. Thank you for listening.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Kiefer, and as Dr. Lampkin so wonderfully introduced, I am one of the vice chairwomen on the board of directors at Communities and Schools of Delaware. Thank you all for being here with us this evening. Thank you for your participation in our program. And thank you for your overall support of Communities and Schools of Delaware. I have the privilege to serve on this board. I have the privilege to support this organization and work with many of the individuals that you've met tonight. Stories have been incredible. The journey that Dr. Marsha Ali has gone on and the inspiration she brings to me with her outcome and how far she has taken herself in her career, and maybe even more than that, how she gives back in service to her community. This organization has more demand than we have resources. How will your dollars that you provide to communities and schools go to work? In Delaware, 1 in 5 children under the age of 18 live in poverty. These children are disproportionately children of color who already struggle with issues of access and equity. Without community support, they're more at risk for missing school, dropping out, and ultimately failing to earn a high school diploma. By helping our most vulnerable students stay in school and succeed, we're building stronger, healthier, and more economically stable state where every person can reach his or her greatest potential. As I look at my watch, I think the auction is closed. And so if you participated in the auction tonight, thank you for your support. I was participating in the auction tonight, and I'm excited to hear our results and see what everyone won and ultimately see how much money we raised. If you haven't participated in the auction and you've taken the time to be here with us, my ask of you is to give. A little amount or a big amount, all of it helps. Any dollar that you give goes directly to funding programs at Communities of School, directly to funding individuals. You heard from some of our very talented staff members tonight singing. Those are the same staff members that are in high schools and middle schools around the state, helping to support our most vulnerable children. So on behalf of the board, my ask is giving. And after my ask, of course, is our thanks for your generosity and your support. I would be remiss if I didn't once again call out our presenting sponsor, PayPal. And I would like to personally thank my good friend, Jim Wilson, who helped us to procure their support. The other really important job I have tonight is to introduce our next segment. Our next segment is a piece, an artistic piece, a poem by the twin poets. This poem is called Two Mondays. It's powerful and it paints a picture of two very, very different realities. These gentlemen are incredibly talented. We're blessed and grateful to have them. And so without further ado, the twin poets.
Monday morning. It's gonna be a beautiful Monday.
It's a beautiful
morning.
Monday.
Good morning, sunshine.
Morning. Wake up. Wake up.
Good morning. I made your favorite. I made oatmeal and cinnamon, and I didn't forget the raisins.
Oh, it's
so
gonna
nice
be a beautiful, sunny. It's a beautiful Monday morning.
You see Monday mornings in your house? You probably wake up your kids with a good morning sunshine and kiss them on their foreheads and help them make their beds. Your kids have a complete breakfast and they go back upstairs and brush, rinse, and floss, put on their clean uniforms, grab their bag lunches and skip off to the garage. Hear I love you and have a great day as they get dropped off. But Monday mornings in my house is just a little bit different than yours because somewhere in her travels home for the past few nights, my mom's got lost. Now I haven't seen my mom's in like a day or two. And ain't no clean clothes and nothing to eat, so what am I supposed to do? I'm only 12 years old and I ain't seen my mom all weekend. No, I'm not woken up, I know alarm clock's beeping, but rather my little sister standing at my doorway asking me what we gonna be eating. My little sister, she only 7, man, she don't know no better. She's still dressed in the same dirty clothes she wore all last week, asking me what we gonna eat. I say, mommy not here, man, go ahead and go back to sleep. I hit the corner store and stole us some noodles and chips to eat. Around then, mom staggers back in for her long weekend. We barely looked up from our bowls, man, we just keep on eating. You see, this is Monday morning in my house, and love kept us silent, too afraid of the truth that might come out. Them unasked questions like, she don't ask us why we not in school, and we don't ask her where she been. She ain't even asked where those noodles came from. She just asked me to go in there and make her some. I said, it's not no more. Handed her my full bowl, and then hit her back out the door to the store to go steal some more. And then here you come asking me why I'm not in school, and I just say, Monday mornings in my house, a little bit different than yours.
What? Go ahead.
Thank you, Natalie. We appreciate your contribution to our board as well as to our show this evening. As we conclude our presentation, I think it is important that I take just a couple minutes to share with you some of the wonderful people that provided support for our auction. ShopRite, the Kinney Family Foundation, Food Lion, Giant, The Grand, DuPont Hotel, Tonic Seafood and Steak Restaurant, DoubleTree, Greater Wilmington, Lafayette Gallery, BJ's, Texas Roadhouse, Wawa, Tropical Smoothie, Dunkin' Donut, Barnes & Nobles, Del Pez, Fashion Fabulous, Jackie Harris, Iron Hill Brewery, Hand and Stone, Avita, Main Event, Winterthur, Longwood Gardens, Skating Club of Wilmington, Orange Theory Fitness, Avenue Apothecary in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Individual contributors, Amy Stingle, Michelle Brown Dawson, Faith Meisinger Pettit, Laura Lloyd, Kate and Bill McGlinchey, Enid Wallace Sims, Nicole Burrell, Lorinda Rainey, Natalie Kiefer, Marshall Ali, and Anthony McCullum. It is our hope that you have enjoyed, as well as learned something this evening. We thank you for your continued support and ask that you mark it on your calendar for the month of November 2022 for our 3rd annual Champions for Children virtual, maybe in person event. Thank you. Have a great evening. Be well and stay safe.